In your heart.
Well, in your, like your heart, the core of you. So your body is your vehicle.
It's in your being. Is it outside of you? Is it inside of you?
No, it's outside you.
When you're living, it's inside.
Yeah.
Right? Where exactly?
In the mind.
In the mind. Where's the mind?
The body.
And where exactly in the body is the mind?
Every soul, every cell of the body.
Right? That's true. No, I want you to work this thing out because I don't want to spoon feed you the answers. There's no such thing as a wrong answer. Right? Doc is correct in one sense. The ruh exists and permeates every single cell of one's body. Correct answer. Next one. Someone give me another suggestion now. It's neither in nor out. Right? Carry on. Now give me another option. Come on. Think.
I read this somewhere. Someone said when certain of the friends of Allah, when they made the zikr of the heart, they felt like a tingling sensation on the left side of the chest.
That's the qalb.
Right. But when they made towards the right, they felt the ruh in the presence of the self.
Right. That's correct. That's also correct. Carry on. All of these are answers to the operation of the ruh. Doc's one is the physical answer, medical answer, typical doctor. Right? That's more of a spiritual answer. I want an academic answer now. In terms of the ruh.
To my knowledge, a soul is like energy from Allah that's given to you, that's actually housed in your body. That's the physical part. The whole part of the soul, really. I would think, I don't know.
So, can the ruh come in and come out as well?
Yes.
Yes. How often?
When you sleep.
Whenever Allah is
Right, when you sleep. Okay, carry on. Give me a few more qualities of ruh that you know of. Carry on. Let me give you an indication. According to scholars, Imam Badruddin Aini, the one Imam Badruddin Aini is a sharih, a commentator of Sahih al-Bukhari. He's done a whole sharh on commentary on Sahih al-Bukhari. Imam Badruddin Aini says there are 70 plus opinions about what ruh is. Imam Ghazali has given quite a few of his explanation in Ajaib al-Qalb and so on as to what the ruh is. No knowledge of ruh is conclusive or qat'i, absolute. Right? At best, it is dhanni. It is an opinion. Right? It may be an informed and educated opinion, but it is not absolute. Did you understand that? Right? In terms of the ruh, how old is it? Does the ruh die? Sure? Does the ruh die? So the ruh is eternal. So are you attributing a quality of Allah to the ruh then?
It's pre-eternity to eternity. We don't know where that starts and ends.
Be careful, carry on. So the ruh is eternal according to you guys, okay? Okay. One thing that you've got to come to realize, and this goes against all the concepts that exist in all philosophies of the world, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Vedantic philosophies, whether it's this one here, that the ruh, the soul is a divine spark and a divine thing and all of these things here. Under Islamic understanding, the ruh is created. It's a creation of Allah. It is a creation of Allah. It is not an independent entity, nor is it part of Allah. Na'uzubillah. Part of Allah, as if a divine spark is the divine in you. No. It may possess some of the most subtle attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but like every other faculty of yours, it is still a created entity. That's the only word I can use for it. In terms of physicality, right? In terms of a corporeality, as they would call it, corporeal something there, right? We can't say exactly what it is. Now I'm going to give you a very simplified, very class 1 version of an explanation in order for you to resolve the mind, body, spirit, soul conundrum. Okay? Simple. Let's take the example of a car. Car, very fancy car, right? Anybody? You the driver, you the car man. Give me a fancy car. I said a Mercedes-Benz, right? There you go. Mercedes-Benz. You've got the car, you've got the shell of the car, right? Your doors and your wheels and the wheels on the bus go. They can't go square, they have to go around, right? Your windscreen, your whatever else, right? That's the body. Exactly like mine and yours. 2 hands, 2 legs, face, right? And all of these things. This is the body. Inside you is what actually makes it work. Very similar to like the engine of the car. You've got the exhaust coming in the back, you've got your exhaust coming out. Right? You've got the whole engine in the front. Right? And what's the heart of that engine? The brain. But in that engine, there's one thing called the battery. And if the battery is not sebenzain, the car is not going to start. And the battery is the heartbeat, like your heart. As long as this fella is beating here, everything else is working. If the battery goes dead or goes flat, you flatline. You flatline. I'm giving you a simple example for you to understand this, okay? All the functioning inside that engine there, all of this brain works, right? And all the other organs with it work, primarily is the brain, all work in order to get the car going, right? But the car's gearbox is there, the car's brakes are there, the car's accelerator are there, right? The car's left and right indicator is there. All of that are primarily the functioning of the brain itself. That's the brain, right? Those most important things. Because without those things there, if you don't steer correctly there, even if the engine is running, right? Even if it's idle, you started the car, right? Mashallah, subhanallah. Can you go anywhere? Right? So your steering wheel, your gearbox, your accelerator, your brake and everything is the brain. The rest of the engine is the rest of your body. All of these things work and function correctly because the brain is functioning. What do you call it? Alternate, not alternate. I don't know anything about cars, man. Jesus. Whatever it is, not the suspend, not fan belt or whatever it is, it all works because the brain is working. Otherwise that will remain suspended. You understand? Now, in order for that accelerator, wrong thing, accelerator, brake, gearbox, steering to work, do you need a driver? Who's the driver? The mind. Who is the driver? The mind.
The Google car without a driver, who's the brain there?
G? The navigation system.
Okay.
Right? Did you understand that? Right? That's the mind. Now, the mind, when I speak about the mind here, now I'm talking about the sense of self, the driver. And the driver is who? A human being. Who's the human being? The self, the I, right? You driving the car, the idiot in the car, you understand? I hope you understand id, you know the superhero idiot, right? Okay? The idiot in the car, right? So, you driving, but that's the mind. That controls everything that is taking place. At the same time, in that mind, hidden inside that mind, there is what we call the ego, the nafs. And the nafs tells you, drive fast. Show them what a great driver you are, right? And the other part of the nafsul ammara tells you, drive fast. Showing them what a fancy car you have there. See how you can take the bend. See this one here. See what do you call it? What? You're racing like Maulana would say, right? And the one part of you standing in the back there, Baba, be careful. They don't be clever. You may have an accident. That's your nafsul lawama. Can you see how all of this is functioning now? All of that can take place. I'm cutting the story short for you, right? You got the point, right? All of this can take place. Mind is there. Nafs is there. Hey, check me out in my fancy C220 CDI, Mercedes-Benz C-Class car of the year. Right? And you know what? This thing's got blue technology. Dada, you brought me about your car. He's got such a thing. Subhanallah, tabarakallah. Man, you started it, mashallah. All of a sudden, nothing happening, Baba. What happened? You open the bonnet. What's wrong with your car? Nothing today. No fuel inside. No fuel inside. That's the rule. That's the rule. As an example. It's because of... Carry on, Farid.
It just occurred to me through your explanation that fuel is really the most important part to get the vehicle moving. So similarly, how do we take care enough of our soul so that...
Brilliant, brilliant. At least someone is wide awake. I think her husband walking in the street got a extra Josh, like, you know, her soulmate walking. Excellent point. Excellent point. Right? We'll answer that just now. But let me think. Did you understand that? You can have everything there. That's why when the ruh leaves the body is dead. The body is dead. Lungs may be perfectly fine. Heart may be perfectly fine. No bypass, no nothing. Everything is fine. But will you attribute that dead person now and say, Arshad is lying there, and you say Arshad's body. The body is lying in state. No one says so and so is lying there. You say the body is there. What happened? Oxygen around. Oxygen is there. All the body's organs are there. The brain is still there. Everything is there. How come the blood is not moving anymore? Why does it and out? Heart is perfectly fine. With, you know the brain, the heart to a certain degree works independently because it has its own electrical system. Am I right now? And what's it called? Electromagnetic something is called, huh? No, not central nervous system, no. It works it can work to a certain degree independently of the brain. Right?
It's automatic.
Yeah, right? Now, everything is there. What's not there? The divine spark, the energy, the ruh. Where did the ruh go to? The moment Allah removed the ruh, where did it go to? It disappeared. How do you know your ruh is in you? The doc's example, which was body and, it's in every cell of your body. Without the ruh giving that energy to every cell in your body, your body will cease to operate. In a car, the only time you know that fuel is in the tank there is when you start your car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. What do you see? You see the fumes. Very subtle, especially when you're driving. You don't see fumes. Unless, of course, you like after then, you put your launch on your car and you see that smoke coming out of my You understand? Then you get that gust of smoke. Other than that, you don't know, but slowly but surely, the fumes come out from the exhaust. But do you see that energy? No, you don't. Similarly, at night when you go off to sleep, while your body is still functioning, while Allah has still kept a connection between your body and your ruh, and He's not going to remove it permanently from your body, just temporarily from your body there, in spite of the fact that you are fast asleep and your ruh has temporarily left its abode, right? What happens? Have you noticed one thing in particular when you fast asleep? Does your breathing not change? It does. That's why I said there's a very close link between the ruh, the breath, and the ruh. Have you noticed how you're breathing? Some people make quite a bit of a noise to make sure to tell everybody, no, I'm fast asleep. Right? Right? Sakku, stop laughing. Don't embarrass your husband. Right? Right? But have you noticed the change in breathing? Have you noticed when you just pay attention the next time your spouse or your child goes off to sleep, you'll see them initially when their ruh is temporarily being disconnected from their body, right? It's a deep breath. I heard my son yesterday, that's why I remember that very clearly. Initially, when they just fall off, when they just fall off to sleep, it's deep breathing. After a while, it starts getting softer and softer and softer. And as I always tell you, you don't know exactly when the soul left the body. But my question is, did you feel any pain before you fell off to sleep? Did you feel any discomfort? Did you even feel your ruh leaving your body? All that you may have felt is that there was an altered state of consciousness, and you may have noticed that for a little while there, you transferred from a conscious state to what we call an unconscious state. But even transferring between a conscious state and I want you to be observant people now. Now you can't just be just taking things inside. You need to become when you're whittling between the conscious and unconscious state, you will notice that your thoughts become quicker. Your thoughts are becoming quicker, and at times they become more lucid. And after a while, you come to realize that I'm not consciously in control of my thoughts. My thoughts started having a life of their own. And all of a sudden, you don't even realize. Sometimes when you're like dipping, when you're dipping is a nice moment to observe these things here, because in that few moments of dipping, you were thinking about, I'm watching the end of this TV show. I mean, haram, but anyway, never mind. Watching the end of this TV show, and all of a sudden you dipped. And when you dipped, right? When you dipped, there was no control over your thoughts. And in those couple of moments, you started to see, you started to dream, almost like dreaming, right? And you had a few scenes, or whatever it was there, right? And you missed a couple of scenes on TV, that's beside the point, right? And then you got up. What's happening at that moment? What's happening at that moment? Your ruh is about to leave, right? It's just like, you're starting your car when the guy is still putting the fuel in, right? And all of a sudden, before you can go to the first click there, before you can even close it up, the unit starts to take off. So in that period of time there, the car says, no, I've got enough petrol in the body, in my car there, right? I'm not running on empty anymore. The car wants to start to move. But the guy says, hey, bye, hold on, let me close up first. In those few moments, you are actually caught between two states of consciousness. The conscious state and the unconscious state. And in that conscious state and the unconscious state there, your ruh is at its, when your body sleeps, your soul awakens. When your body sleeps, your soul awakens. Right? So literally your ruh is doing this. Like when you get up in the morning there, they show you the sleepy posture PD going. Do you understand? Your ruh is not a vampire, by the way. Just for your information. That's why people, the only gets up at night, you understand? So when you're doing that there, you get that moment when you are between slumber and deep sleep, and you woke up for a few moments there, your ruh was busy doing this. I just got up and, hey, now what's going on here? The ruh says, don't put me back in, man. Please, man. Did you understand that? Right? I want clarity, and I want you to not to be confused. Lots of people get confused about the ruh body. Sorry, Faria, what your question was, how do we feed the soul? How do we keep our soul energized? That's a very long discussion which we will get into. It has to do with all dimensions of ourselves. Just to give an idea, I'm just going to give you an overview how the ruh, people ask, where is the ruh? The ruh is here, and he gave a spiritual answer. One answer was a medical one, one was a spiritual answer one, right? You have what we know as lataif, subtle spiritual centers, right, in the body. And by the way, they're just not, or the Hindus or the Buddhists call them chakras. They're not just that, here and here and here and here and here and here and here. No. Actually, these are the main spiritual centers or subtle points. There are hundreds of them throughout the body. If you look at Chinese medicine, they will tell you certain chi and energy points. Right? There are points in your feet. Right? There are various points in your feet. The top of your toe, which is an energy point which connects to the crown chakra, as they call it in, I don't know what. But in one of these the Hindu things or whatever it is, or the Buddhist things, or one of those New Age philosophies, or whichever one you follow, right? But the top of your toe is attached to the crown of your head, and that's an energy point. Similarly, you have an energy point over here. If you press down on it, try it, right? You will see that there's There's energy flowing through here. These are some of the, you'll feel a slight pain inside there, right? If someone puts a needle there, especially if someone puts a needle in there, right? If someone puts a needle of acupuncture, you'll actually feel, it just releases that, that congestion, okay? So these are the main centers, right? Which the Sufi Kiram have also spoken about, and the Quran subtly refers to them, but you've got to be able to pick it up. Quran speaks about qalb. Quran speaks about nafs. يَعْلَمُ السِّرَّ وَأَخْفَى. Allah knows about the sir and the akhfa in Surah Taha. And if you ask the scholars of Islam, they will tell you there is sir, akhfa, and the ruh. Right? They give you certain main centers, like he said correctly, maybe here or whatever it is. But the ruh in itself functions and operates through these subtle points as it does through these external points. You have sight, you have smell, you have taste, you have hearing, you have touch, you have not intuition, aql, thinking. Right? I'm just adding those there for you to understand that those are all parts of the body, because the brain is doing the thinking, and the brain function, mathematical, some are analytical, some are creative, left side of the brain, right side of the brain, blah, 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 blah. Right? But the ruh functions through all of these centers or subtle points. Some of them are physical and some of them are spiritual. And the energy of the ruh and the experience of life of the ruh is through all of this. Now, does the ruh become corrupt, or does it remain the way it is? Very interesting question. Is the ruh unaffected by the nafs? Okay, I'll give you a simple example. Let's go back to the car again. Let's go back to the car again. If you went off-roading, right, and your car got filthy, did the fuel get messed?